Take you to this live story now. Hundreds of South Africans with blocked IDs are threatening to shut down Home Affairs offices in Tshwane. The High Court in Pretoria ruled last year that blocking IDs without due process is unlawful, but the department has been slow to act. Affected citizens will march and have been marching on the department's offices in Pretoria yet again. Let's take you there live to Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Mahwadi. Veronica, there's obvious frustration from the crowd there just because of the impact that having a blocked ID has on you as the person impacted in terms of accessing a job, opening a bank account, but also on your children.
Well, Michelle, we are here in the capital where the Soul of Africa, a civil organization, has come together with hundreds of people demanding that the Home Affairs Department unblock their IDs. Now, this has been a decades-long frustration for many of residents, and I understand that the crowd here, many of the protesters, have in fact traveled overnight by bus from other provinces and even slept outside the department's offices, and they said that they are protesting for their identity documents, which were blocked without notice or even reason. And you'd understand, Michelle, without an ID, one is of course unable to do many things in life, from opening up a bank account, accessing SASSA grants, even getting services and healthcare system employment and other services, because of course an ID in South Africa is a crucial piece of documentation that allows you essentially not just to get services, but it identifies you as a citizen of the country. Now, the department said, of course, that they had blocked a number of IDs, and this has been an ongoing issue because of identity fraud and irregular migration. They say that it was also a system failure. But remember back in 2024, when the Gauteng High Court, in fact, declared that that decision to block these hundreds and thousands of IDs was, in fact, unconstitutional, as well as, they declared it for what is unconstitutional for the department to block these IDs without timeous investigation or even notice to the residents. And of course, they said that they must undo this decision. We know from the Home Affairs Department that at the peak of this crisis, it was sitting at about 2.5 million ID documents that were blocked. As it stands now, there are about 300,000 of those documents that are still now waiting to be processed. We're going to speak to the organization from the Soul of Africa just to get an understanding of the demands that they've put forward here to the Home Affairs Department. Bongani, thank you for your time. I understand that you and your members slept overnight here, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for calling us through. We've been here ever since yesterday. We've been doing our mini rally at CBD Beggars Park. We've got more than 1,000 people here. They've crying with the issue of blocked IDs. It's been 18 years now. The IDs have been blocked. These people here, even their kids as we speak right now, some of them have to go to school and do their matric. Some of them have to go for university. They cannot further their studies because their parents' IDs have been blocked. So now we are sitting on 62.7% of unemployment rate. And if you can look at it, the majority of those kids are from these parents, because we are sitting on 750,000 people, their IDs are blocked. So multiply it with 2 of their kids. We are sitting on more than 1 to 2 million of their kids sitting at home and not doing anything. And if we're not going to stop this, we're going to have an anarchy where we're going to breed people now are going to be criminals, because the kids, there's nothing they're going to do. The only thing that they'll want to do is to steal. So we as Soul of Africa, we're advocating for that. We're saying to Home Affairs, be fair to these people. I mean, the court has ruled and said to Home Affairs, open their IDs, and they're left with 24 months. Now as we are sitting, they're left with 15 months. Home Affairs has not done anything. We've been engaging with them. We've got paper trail, we've got records, where we've been engaging with them. And you know what they said to us? Instead of assisting us, they want us as Soul of Africa to align with certain political parties. And we're not even scared to say that they said we must align with ANC. And not going to align with anyone because we're a civic movement. We're here to assist the marginalized people. And the third part, Veronica, is that these people that you see, the majority are from the rural areas. deep in the rural areas. Eastern Cape, KZN, we're sitting at Mpumalanga, Nkomazi, we're sitting at Limpopo, Malamulele, Palabora. So it's very bad. They're not from Gauteng, by the way. They're from rural areas. So clearly they knew that when they block these people's IDs, they're not going to have access to Home Affairs. They're disadvantaged. They're not working. They cannot fend for themselves. So what's going to happen? Now they're selling their IDs. We've got a lot of duplicates, by the way, here. Sold, their IDs sold to the foreigners. So we are saying to Home Affairs, assist these people because they voted last year. They voted in 1994. So if they say these people are foreigners, why did they allow them to vote from 1994 up until last year? Thank you.
And it's been an ongoing crisis, about 2 decades now of this. And as you've mentioned, even just looking at the crowd, a lot of the people who are here are among the elderly. I can imagine that life without an ID is quite difficult for them.
You're very correct. By the way, some of them lost their jobs. They told them that they must bring their IDs. So if they could not bring their IDs down, they're going to remove them. As we speak, a lot of them have lost their jobs. We've got elders there. They can't even apply for grant. They can't apply for SASSA. They can't even apply for their kids for SASSA. So can you imagine what we are going through in this era that you are sitting on? Home Affairs must just protect our people, because it's very sad that Home Affairs can allow illegal immigrants to participate as they want in our country, but they leave people that are from their country and not attending them. So it's very painful that our people that are here are the ones that have been here ever since they were born here, their kids were raised here, but today their IDs are blocked. So how can they participate in making money or participate in the economy when they can't even fend for themselves? The reason why you don't see a lot of people is because they even struggled to come here. Some went to Mashonisa to loan money for them to be here. That's how serious this matter is, because their identity is their life. Without their identity, they don't have life. So we are pleading to Home Affairs, give these people their life back, because their identity is their life.
And I understand that from the court judgment that was handed down in 2024, given Home Affairs about 2 years to essentially overturn this decision of blocking these IDs. The court found it unconstitutional, but you say that there has been a deliberate delay, or what has really, you say, is the reason behind Home Affairs not completing this unblocking of these IDs, or at least releasing or issuing some of those IDs?
So when we engage with Chief Director Baba Zamkala, she said to us that it's a system failure, and also that they've been looking for these people. They took out gazettes, they've published on newspapers and municipality newspapers, and the people who are not coming in, they don't have their addresses on the system, they don't even have their number. So we said, okay, fair and square. If that's the case, then we are going to make life easier for you. We will go to them because we know them. We have them in our database. We'll go to them. And we went to Limpopo. We got more than 10,000 to 15,000 people that their IDs are blocked. When we came back to Home Affairs and said, now we have those people, which number do you want for us to start? They said we must give them 50. We gave them their first 50. Test and error, whatever you call it. So they did that, but they never came back to us, because the only reason that they want us to comply is that we must align ourselves, and we can't align ourselves because we are not a political party, we are a civic movement. The most important thing is the issue that is affecting these people.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That is, of course, the chairperson of Soil of Africa. And just really looking at the crowd of people here, you can just see that it's that kind of desperation as well, Michelle, as you've heard there from the chairman, that these are people who had come from various parts of the province. This situation, this system failure, as the Home Affairs Department calls it, affecting thousands of lives. And you've heard just the impact that it has had. Elderly unable to get SASSA grants, residents unable to apply for jobs, parents unable to register their children. And you can just see, Michelle, just the frustration from the residents. They've actually come with their identity documents to the Home Affairs head office here to say, please see us, identify us as citizens of South Africa, so that we, just like everybody else, can have a chance at life, so that us, just like everybody else, can be able to access the services that are so crucial with this documentation. And we're going to have an opportunity as well just to speak to some of the thousands of people who are affected by this overturning and by this decision by Home Affairs Department to block these IDs, a decision which was in fact found to be unconstitutional. Michelle.
What a harrowing scene coming to us there in Tshwane with Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Magwadi, people holding up their identity documents saying, I do exist. And in fact, that's such an important statement, Veronica, because there was another case of a woman who was unable to finalize her divorce because she was deemed to be by the Home Affairs Department non-existent.
Michelle, and you can hear from the people here and the community and the residents to say that, you know, an identity document is more than just a document. It speaks to really the political will as well by the Home Affairs Department to say to people that, as you said, I do exist, that I'm a part of this country. And you can understand, Michelle, just from the impact that the residents have spoken about, many of them, and as the Soil of Africa chairperson relayed, that it's really a stumbling block. It's an obstacle when your own, department or your own government says to you that you do not exist. And what's really frustrating about this as well is the reality is the explanation given by the Home Affairs Department, saying that it's a system failure, saying that, some of these documents were found to be fraudulent, but many of them saying that I am a South African citizen. And you heard as well, the Soil of Africa, they're saying that they've also taken up this fight because of the crisis that is also within the Home Affairs Department of many people getting hold of fraudulent identity documents, many people having illegal documentation. And so they're saying, are those rights of those who are getting documents illegally more important than us, South Africans, who have been waiting, as you've heard, Michelle, for more than 2 decades for them to be issued with the correct ID document? To have an ID be blocked essentially means that you are not a citizen in this country. You are not recognized. Therefore, you cannot enjoy or share in the rights to those that are afforded here in this country. And we're going to, of course, continue to watch the developments here. We're expecting as well the crowd to grow. Police are here, of course, as well, making sure that this demonstration is a peaceful one, but also hearing from some of the members of Soil of Africa that they will stay here, even if it means overnight, until they are addressed by some of the Home Affairs Department officials and given proper clarity, accountability and transparency as to what is the next step for the thousands of people that remain ID-less, that remain unidentified. Michelle.
And that remain, according to the state, non-existent. Veronica Mokwadi, live to us there in Tshwane.